Welcome to part 4 of our unforgettable adventures exploring Isle of Skye in an old Land Rover Defender. In the last video, we went swimming in the fairy pools before braving the Scottish weather at Nice Point Lighthouse, after which our day was cut short due to the horrendous winds and torrential rain. Today will be our final day on the island, and we'll be continuing our exploration of Skye in our landy, including a boat trip to spot wildlife, looking for dinosaur footprints on a beach, and taking in more of the breathtaking scenery that Skye has to offer. We woke up feeling far more rested than the previous night. Our meeting time at Portree Harbour wasn't until noon, so we took it easy, enjoying a shower and breakfast at the campsite.
Luxury breakfast. Yum yum.
Nothing wrong with hot
Said
porridge.
nobody ever.
I can see there's a bottle of wine in the background. Is that for breakfast?
Indeed it is. So rude.
Overall, it was a pleasant and not overly crowded trip, with the added bonus of spotting wildlife. Back on solid ground, we strolled past a bar named An 1820, and we noticed the dog's welcome sign. We decided to stop in for a late lunch where we had delicious fish and chips.
Yum yum yum.
Afterwards, we continued our journey north along the east coast to explore the sites that we missed the previous day, and in just 10 minutes, we arrived at the Storr. The Storr is probably the most famous walk on the island, and undoubtedly the busiest. The Old Man is a large pinnacle of rock that stands tall and can be spotted from miles around. As part of the Trottenish Ridge, the Storr was formed by a massive ancient landslide, creating one of the most photographed landscapes in the world. Our plan was to park the landy in the car park and hike up the Storr. We simply didn't have enough time, considering our packed schedule for the day, so we settled for a brief stop off the main road to admire the stunning rock formation from a distance and capture some photos. Our visit was becoming a whirlwind tour, and after a further 10-minute drive down the road, we reached Kilt Rock Mealt Falls. Kilt Rock is an impressive natural wonder, standing at a towering 90 metres, and it strikingly resembles a pleated kilt. Mealt Waterfall, which is fed from the nearby Mealt Loch, cascades dramatically from the cliff's edge to the rocky coastline below. However, on the day of our visit, the wind was quite strong. What we saw was nothing more than a misty spray being carried sideways by the wind. Nevertheless, it was still a beautiful sight, and Kilt Rock was equally stunning. Back in the landy, we were off to our next adventure, and just a 10-minute drive later, we found ourselves at An Corran Beach, all excited to hunt for ancient dinosaur footprints. So currently at An Corran Beach, let's go and find some dinosaurs. There are 17 of these tracks in total, with some being quite more prominent, while others are so subtle that they're barely noticeable.
Have you found some more?
Yeah.
Where?
Something there. There's a little one there. There's a little one there. There's a big one there.
I'm struggling to see them, I'll be honest.
You have to stand here in the light, so the light suddenly shines out.
This unassuming wee sandy beach at An Corran, with its views over the now uninhabited Staffin Island, used to go largely unnoticed until relatively recently. It wasn't until 2002 when local dog walkers stumbled upon some intriguing tracks in the rocks. These tracks turned out to be dinosaur footprints dating back a whopping 170 million years to the Jurassic era. As if that wasn't exciting enough, dinosaur experts later uncovered more fossil tracks, some possibly from larger dinosaurs like the fearsome Megalosaurus. Nowadays, due to the buzz around these prehistoric footprints, An Corran Beach tends to attract a fair share of visitors. Fortunately, when we arrived, it wasn't too crowded. We managed to find a parking spot, and Benji had a blast on the small stretch of beach, while we snapped some photos before heading off to our next destination. The Quiraing offers a stunning walk through some of the most breathtaking landscapes in Scotland. Situated as part of the Trottenish Ridge, this area was shaped by a massive landslip. Covering an 8.5 kilometre expanse, this region remains geologically active, shifting a few centimetres each year. The nearby road requires annual reinforcement because it tends to crack and splinter as the land continuously inches closer to the sea. During our visit, the area was bustling with visitors, all eager to explore the twisting trails that wind through this remarkable terrain. The complete loop of the walk spans around 6.8 kilometres and typically takes approximately 2 hours to finish. However, due to our time constraints, we could only manage a short section to marvel at this dramatic and otherworldly landscape, snapping a few photos before heading back to the car park and commencing our final drive on Skye, heading south towards the Skye Bridge. After a journey of approximately an hour and 20 minutes, we find ourselves crossing the bridge back to the mainland. Unfortunately, it was too late to catch the small ferry to Glenelg as we had considered earlier in our trip. Our plan for the night was to find a suitable spot to camp for our final evening. Driving through the Isle of Skye and along the A87, we left the main road to follow the old military road on the opposite side of the loch, leading us to a small hamlet named Rattigan. Here we discovered a camping spot in a clearing high above the loch. All three of us were completely exhausted after a full day of exploration, so we called it a night. Well, today certainly was a busy day, and that brings us to the end of part 4. Tomorrow will be our final day of our adventure, exploring the Scottish Highlands and camping on top of the Land Rover Defender. We will be making our way back across the country towards Inverness to return the Land Rover before making our way back home. Thank you so much for following along on our adventure, and please remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.